Hey YouTube, this is Heartof the Cards 117 with another deck profile for the Chaos Lightsworn deck, or ChaosSworn deck, or Twilight deck, whatever you might want to call it. For December 2014. Well, we're already at the end of the year, and I'd like to congratulate all of you because, you know, Christmas is really near. Yeah, really near by exactly like 23 days. Hopefully this will be a nice, like a really good end of the year for all of us. For that, let's hope that Yu-Gi-Oh gets a really good boost when the new format comes out. I haven't been able to make a new video for a long time now. It was because of the fact that my camera broke down and I had to get a new one. Now, since I got a really awesome camera with a nice stand and stuff, everything, hopefully my videos will be better than before, which were like 3 or 4. So hopefully it'll be better than before, and hopefully you like them. For this deck profile, it also runs the Dragon engine here, Chaos Dragon deck engine, was because of the fact that whenever I see a profile in which there's a Lightsworn Chaos build, the max people run is BLS and Chaos Sorcerer at max. It's true that your BLS and Chaos Sorcerer are all you need in that deck, but what's the point of calling it a Chaos Lightsworn deck if the most monsters you're running are Lightsworn monsters? For this, I'm calling this a Chaos Lightsworn is because of the fact that I do run a Chaos engine in here. So it's my taste, it's opinion. It's a really good deck. Let me just tell you, it's a really awesome deck to play out there. I made this deck and I was like, try this deck on the end. I was like, every single player, every 2 out of 3 players was playing this deck on the end. I was like, whoa. I just started playing this deck and people are also starting to play this deck. For the boss monster, first of all, we use 3 judgments because 2 isn't enough. We need more destruction, more nuking. And more destruction, the more better. For the Lightsworn engine, we use 2 ratings. Why 2? Why not 3? Because of the fact that I told you, this isn't a Lightsworn deck. This is a Lightsworn Chaos deck, meaning that Chaos cards, Chaos cards, including the Chaos Dragon deck, are running side to side with Lightsworn cards in here. This isn't a Lightsworn deck. For Raiden, after Raiden, we run 2 Luminas, because if we're not running 2 Raidens, I don't see any point in running 3 Luminas. For the single Lightsworns, we have 1 Lila, 1 Raiko, 1 Minerva, 1 Aaron, 1 Jane, 1 Wolf, and that was the last one. We have exactly 8 different type of Lightsworn monsters in here, and Minerva has a few good targets in here. Even exactly maybe 4, actually 6 targets in here, including the 3 judgments and Light Pulse Dragon 2. For the Chaos engine, we run 2 Light Pulse Dragons because this guy's awesome. 1 Dark Flare Dragon, 1 Red Eyes Dark Smell Dragon, 1 Dark Arm Dragon, 1 Black Muscle Soldier, 1 Chaos Sorcerer. Chaos Sorcerer is good at 1 in this deck because of the fact that we only run 10 darks in here in this deck overall. 20 lights, 10 darks. Good ratio to be having in a Chaos Twilight deck. Chaos Lightsworn deck. Yeah, you don't want more. You don't want a lot of cards that require banishing from the graveyard because of the fact that you might run out of them. For the milling engine, we run 2 card troopers. For the tuners, for 2 tuners, we run 2 plague spatters. This guy's really awesome. You could recycle him a lot, you know. Plague spatter. 1 debris for the tuner monster. Sorry about that. Except for that, for the hand traps, you run 2 effect whalers, 1 Trigodia, 1 Gorz the Emissary of Darkness, 1 Battle Fader, and of course, last but not least, hell not this guy's least, is 1 Honest. Wins games. For the support cards, we run 1 Eclipse Wyvern. The support cards are for both engines, including the Chaos Dragon deck and the Lightsworn engine. Eclipse Wyvern, 5 targets in this deck. Really good important card. I would recommend running more, but I only run 1 because of the fact that I want this deck to be fast. Eclipse Wyvern doesn't keep this fast if you don't have the required cards in your deck in your hand. For 1, we run 1 Divine Dragon Apocalypse, built-in monster reincarnation. You sometimes mill JD a lot, sometimes you mill all 3 JDs, and If you don't have Monster Incarnation in this deck, this guy's awesome. Plus, he's recyclable for Red Eyes Dark Small Dragon. Get it to your hand, banish this guy, plus one Red Eyes Dark Small Dragon. And one Magical Merchant. This guy, I don't have enough to say about this guy. This guy's super awesome, this deck. I see myself getting anywhere from 5 to 10 mils per flip. If you're unlucky, I'm sorry to say that you're gonna get spells for every, maybe you'll mill 2 cards at max and then you'll get a spell. And sometimes you won't even mill cards and you might get a spell or a spell card to your hand, and that would be that's bad luck. But this guy, the record for me with this guy is 25 cards. I have milled 25 cards with this deck and get to add a spell card that I didn't want to mill. Of course, I didn't want to mill back to my hand. Stops unnecessary mills. Really extremely good cards. It sets up really good plays. I would add more to this deck, but takes up a lot of space. One's more than enough. For spell cards, we run 1 charge, then we run 3 solar recharges, because we run a lot of Lightsworns in here, of course. And then we run 1 soul charge and 2 monster incarnations, because we do have Divine Dragon Apocalypse, but sometimes BLS can save you if he's in the graveyard and you have monster incarnation. That's it for the main deck. 40 cards with 20 lights, 10 darks, and 7 spells, and including two card troopers and 1 debris dragon. For the extra deck, we run 1 Beagle's Diabolic Dragon, 1 Leo with the Caper of Sacred Tree, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Stardust Dragon, 1 Michael, Oracle of Lightsworn, 1 Iron Chain Dragon, 1 Powered Insectron, 1 Samurasa Dragon of Rebirth, because this guy is a built-in monster reborn. If I want to take out any card, I would definitely choose, I think, maybe Iron Chain Dragon or Samurasa. But Samurasa is a really good alternative. Saves your ass sometime. Just the Catastrophe is really good too, but Samurasa can save you. Your opponent will always hesitate and might try to banish this guy first before try not to send this guy to the graveyard, no matter what. So you have a really good defense for at least 2 to 3 turns, at least. In my last deck profile about the Blackman cards was some person commented that the fact that I use a lot of synchros, I should be using more XCs since they're more easier to summon out, and then utilizing the engine of the XC monsters. I totally appreciate you commenting about that stuff, because I take those as compliments, since they are compliments. I take those as compliments, nothing negative. But let me tell you a little about myself. Is the fact that this deck is, and the end about this deck is that this deck does not rely heavily on its extra deck. Does not. The extra deck cards are just if you really need them, really extremely, like you're at a point where you just have to go for Synchro Summon, you have to go for Utopia or Pile Dynamo, and you just have to go for Divine Dragon Felgrind because you know your opponent has Deep Prison or something like your Judgment Sky, like Effect Wheeler or Fiendish, you know. So you have to go for Felgrind. That's when you really have to utilize this deck. And since I'm a just in case guy, I run at least 1 of every level to be run in this deck for Synchro monsters. For the XC monsters, we run 1 Divine Dragon, 1 Divine Dragon Felgrind. For the rank 6, we run 1 Pelgrim Reaper. This guy is awesome because this guy not just doesn't work for only Chaos Dragons, but it also works for Lightsworns as well. His effect is that once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. 2 level 6 monsters, of course, meaning 2 Light Pulsars. Detach 1 XYZ materials from this card, and send the top 5 cards of both players' decks to the graveyard. Both players' decks to the graveyard. This card is really good because you mill. And, he gains 200 attack for each dark monster in either player's graveyard. And plus, destroy your opponent's deck as well. If your opponent has some sort of initiative plan of, like, not recycle. If he or she has a recycling deck, then maybe not a good idea, but he's a really good card for yourself as well. 1 number 39 Utopia, because generic card, you need something to save your ass when you don't have anything on the field. 1 Starleech Pile Dynamo, extremely good card to put in this deck. I would put 2, preferably, because I only have 1 right now, but 2 because of the fact that he gets over a lot of troubles. If your opponent has even like more powerful cards that just like, I don't know, like it gets over a lot of good cards and extra draw power. Then we run 1 wind up Zenmaze because we have Lumina. And if you're in a bad situation where you have 2 Luminas and you already activate their effects, and you don't want your opponent to, go for game next turn, Zenmaze is the next best answer. Well, let's now move on to side deck. Side deck is pretty complicated, and these are only for. I will almost never run these guys in the main deck, but this is the point of the side deck is to make sure that you know your opponent after you duel once. You know your opponent and you want to use these cards. Yeah, just in case. For the side deck, we run 1 Maxi, draw power, 1 Necroface, 1 Thunder King, 1 copies of each of the baby Chaos Dragons. Then for the spells, we run 1 Forbidden Lance, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Soul Release, awesome card, destroys decks too, 1 different dimension reincarnation, 1 Trap Stun, 1 Wiretap, and this for bonus, we run 1 Formula Synchron in the extra deck, in the side side deck. Well, that was for the deck profile, and I hope you enjoy this deck profile, and hopefully use this deck in the future, in your future duels. Well, that was about it. What I need to do, and hopefully you like this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Go Heartof the cards out.